Welcome to the Ask Phiff podcast. I am your host, Phiff. And in this episode, it's a sequel to the one I've done previously, which was BadAssKids. This one's entitled BadAssKids Part 2. And it's a special dedication to all those fucked up parents out there with them badass kids and don't want to admit to it. Hopefully you'll hear these messages and it'll chime in on your ass to do better. If you know better, you do better. Now let's proceed.
That's where this shit all started from. So blame yourself if your child got a concussion. Blame yourself. Everybody want to always blame somebody else. What about what these kids doing? Me and my cousin had that conversation. He was like, well, these kids are messed up today. I said, don't blame the kids. The kids ain't got shit to do with what's going on. The way these kids are fucked up has nothing to do with them. Blame their parents. Blame their goddamn parents. Blame their parents. These are the same parents that want to get up in somebody else's business about their kids, but their kid out here trying to rob somebody else. And you want to tell them about their kid. Nobody trying to hear your bullshit. Yo, you too busy caught up on the phone or anything else like this. Or your kid probably calling you a motherfucker. You just ain't telling.
Right.
Because everybody want to be friends with their kids. All my kids know I'm not their friend. I love you. You my child. You my child. That's it. You not my friend. You'll never be my friend. We ain't gonna never be equal. We ain't gonna never be equal. How we gonna be equal? How? When you gonna catch up to me in age? When? They're not gonna be able to. Cause however old you are, when your daughter get 18, you gonna be 19 years older than her. She ain't gonna catch you. She's not gonna catch you. So how we gonna be equal? So that's what I try to tell people. I'm like, listen here, man, I don't play with kids like that. I don't wrestle with kids. I don't slap box with kids or nothing. Because then they think they on your equal. They think they on your equal, and then all of a sudden they want to test you on a later note. So if you just leave that edge, like, I'm not playing with you like that because I'm going to play for real. Then they know just to back off. They know that they got their limits. That's what the key word is. Don't nobody got no boundaries no more. There's no more boundaries. There's no more boundaries. Just like if you're having a phone conversation or you having a conversation. Let's say you're having a conversation with your girls. I'm having a conversation with my fellas and my son just looking at me in my mouth. There's a lot of kids that do that. And their parents don't say shit. And I be
what? Say it again?
This is what they'll do. They'll have a conversation with their girls. They friends. Women and men do this. Because they ain't got no fucking home training. Women and men will have a conversation amongst grown-ups. And the child is right there listening to all of it. And then the child might shoot his goddamn opinion out every once in a while.
I would never do that. I'm saying me growing up.
No, I'm just saying, but that's what I'm saying. That's the difference between home training. That's the difference between home training. You understand what I mean? You said, listen how you just said, I would never. Look how hard you said that shit. Because you know there'll be a backhand coming across inside your fucking head in a minute.
Hell yeah.
Why? Because it wasn't meant for you to be there. It's grown people conversations. They ain't got nothing to do with you. How you only been on this earth 8 to 10 years. You have no experiences. You just stop shitting on yourself. You just stop shitting on yourself. And some still shit on themselves at 10. So who the fuck are you to tell me about what my conversations are? You know what I'm saying is? I done been stopped shitting on myself 2 times how your age is. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying this, but then people will allow these babies to comment. Then when these babies say some wild ass shit, you want to beat the hell out of them. No, that's your fault. That's your fault, because you let them in your conversation. It's when you should have nipped that shit in the bud from the beginning. That's their goddamn fault. So when they kids be acting reckless and cuss their ass out and be like, well, Ma, you shouldn't have been messing with that dude anyway. Don't smack him, because you don't want to let him in it.
Right, that's the truth.
That's facts.
Mm-hmm.
But people don't realize that. You sit here and be on the phone. You be on the phone one time, and then you be saying shit, but the kids sitting there like a sponge sucking it all in. And what they do, turn around and repeat that. They'll turn around and repeat that shit and embarrass your ass. Then you want to fuck the kid up. No, I had to say that to somebody else before because I caught them saying some shit. I'm not going to say who because I'm still recording, that's why. But, I had to go up there and check them. And I was like, yo, where'd you get all this information from? And they was just like, well, I heard my mom saying that shit on the phone. I said, what?
Mm-mm.
I had to go to the mom. I said, Mom, I said, was you talking grimy on the phone? Well, yeah, kind of, sort of. I said, well, your son just sucked it all up and repeated it back to somebody else. Really? You wasn't watching what you were saying? Yep, see, the problem is, I live off experience when I say these things. I'm not saying these things off of no goddamn statistical data or anything. I'm telling you, these are life experiences. I watch people do this shit. I never understood my dad. Huh?
Excuse me.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, I never understood why my dad never used to kick me the hell out the room. Like, boy, you don't get the hell out of here. Ain't nobody your age up in here. That's why I used to always hear, ain't nobody your age, get out. Flat out. I'm talking about to this day. To this day, I have that attitude. Like, sometimes my grandmother, because my grandmother's still living, and and my sister, my mother's sisters and brothers be in the room, and they'll be all up in there like that, I walk the fuck out. They be like, where you going? I said, listen, I'm an adult, but I'm not an adult like this. This conversation is way over my head. I ain't in none of y'all range. I need to leave. They'll just start laughing. Because that's how I was raised. My kids. If my kids know I'm in a conversation with an adult, they don't try to get in. If they do get in, they say, excuse me, or whatever. Some kids just jump in your lap and just start talking. And while I be looking at folks when they kids, I'm like, whoa. See, right there, that's a big turn off for me with a female. If I catch your child doing some shit like that, I'm not fucking with you. Because I don't got the patience for your child. Your child might be cute, but you know what I mean? You can tolerate that shit. I don't tolerate that. Because that right there is simple basic. So I'm expecting this kid to say fuck you in the next 2-3 years to me. Because if you going to let him do that, he going to do something else. See what I'm saying? So, I look for signs. That'll tell me whether you're a fucked up parent or not. That'll tell me. You can buy him everything. You can buy him Gucci and Banana Republic. You can buy all that. Man, you can buy all that shit for a dog, too. You can buy all that shit for a dog. You can go get a dog Banana Republic. You can get dog Gucci. You can get a regular dog Gucci. Yeah. Somebody that bought the dog Gucci something. Huh?
I said I was always taught that growing up. Like, don't butt into conversation. There's no need. There is really no need.
Nah, but little kids' curiosities and you can't help.
I know.
Right. So to kill their little curiosity, keep them out the loop. Because it ain't their fault. They just respond. They responded to the environment.
Yeah.
So if you don't take them out of that environment, that's not their fault. And I try to express that shit highly sometimes. And I'm telling you. That's why I told people, man, listen here, man. Get your shit together, man, before you start dealing with me, man, for real. Crazy kids I don't like dealing with. Because my kids ain't crazy. They'll do regular shit that a normal kid will do. You know what I mean? But I told you, listen here, the 3 ultimatums. Lying, cheating, and stealing. Those are the abominations. Now, I don't go by no Bible, but them my rules of abominations. Flat out. Huh?
I said the scary part. Yeah. Oh, yeah, word, this is ridiculous how tired I am. Because I did a lot of walking today. But anyway, I don't know what I was going to say. Oh, when we were younger, I guess, my sister had a pack of gum. We were like 6 or 7. And she had a pack of gum. And she walked out of the store with it. My mom didn't realize she had it in her hand until we got home. Once we got home, my mother took it right back into the car and said, why would you steal that? Why didn't you just ask for it? Like, she didn't. My sister thought it was innocent, though. She didn't think it was stealing. So my mom, I guess, took it back to the store, and made her tell the lady that she just stole that from the store and give it back.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what she should. Like my godson, for instance, is ridiculous. He goes to the store with his mother, and they say, "Oh," I said, "Oh, you got a new backpack, or you got a new whatever." Oh no, he just walked out of the store with it. I'm like, why would you let him do that? You should have brought it back while I was already halfway up the store, and I said, okay, but you're
halfway out the store? That means you ain't out the store.
Right. I know. I told this all the time.
See, you see the words that people use, and they don't even realize the shit that they use don't even make no sense. Well, I was halfway out the store, so what do you mean you was halfway out the store? You wasn't out the store. If you say you was down the street would make more sense than you saying you was halfway out the store. That means if you're halfway out the store, you're at the edge of the store. What do you mean?
Even if you were out of the store, you still bring the motherfucking shit back. No,
I get that. I agree with you there. But you see how they twist the lie?
It don't make sense. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The lie don't make no sense, and everybody just goes over it. Mm-hmm. If people would just stop and listen, you know what I mean? Well, I was halfway out the store, so it didn't make no sense to turn back around and give it. What do you mean? If you was halfway out the store, that means you was in between the register and the exit. You could have turned around.
Yep.
You could have just tossed that bitch backwards. Now, see, that's what I'm saying. That's why you wanted him to steal that because you didn't want to pay for it. Say that. Say that.
Listen to this. I myself, as an adult, okay, this was maybe 2-3 years ago. I was at Walgreens. And I bought maybe like $30 maybe worth of stuff or whatever. And I had a chapstick in my hand, a $3 chapstick in my hand or whatever it was. And I didn't pay for it because I had it in my hand throughout the whole process. Me put myself on the register and talking to the cashier. I walked out with it, got into the car, and I really went back into the store to pay for it. And the guy's looking at me like, okay, this is strange. You're coming back? Yeah, I'm coming back to pay for it. What's the problem? Oh my God, that's so honest. We respect that and all that other stuff. You could have just kept it, but I didn't. I came back to pay for it. That's stealing. I'm not going to steal. Well, you made it out the door, and this is the cashier's telling me. You made it out the door, and that don't matter. I'm bringing it back to pay for it. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean to steal it. And he was like, "Oh, that's very rare." Okay.
See, you know what it is? You know what it is? They're focused on the material side of what you stole. You understand what I mean? They ain't focused on the moral part of it. If they were focused on the moral part of it, they wouldn't have said what they said.
Right.
So that tells you the morals of people. Because I'd have been like, yo, that's cool, man. I get you. You know what I'm saying? You forgot the shit. Don't worry about it. That would have made sense to me. I'm not going to sit here and dub you queen of the day. And that's what the fuck you're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why when I tell
people online.
Yeah, that's when I tell people that I'm a single dad with 3 kids, they're like, "Oh, that's just so wonderful." I mean, what the fuck you mean it's wonderful? That's what I'm supposed to. Either that, if I don't do it, they in foster home, or they gonna live with somebody else and they gonna treat them right. So don't give me.
It's very rare. You don't. I don't get men like you now.
Yeah, but okay, but
I told you the same thing.
Nah, I get what you saying is it being. Well, how rare do you think it is? I see a lot of niggas pushing their baby carriages. What that mean?
I do too, but they ain't doing it by themselves like you are.
You don't know. You ain't living in their household.
I'm just saying the people that I do know.
No, I get what you said.
I'm doing that.
No, but you all right, to be honest, I mean, it's stressful, and I could be doing a lot of other things. But I'm just saying that I could have dumped them probably on my mother or something. I could have. But then what the fuck is that going to do? I'm the one, I'm the one who made them all except for the last one. Last one I didn't make. But you know that, right? You know how that guy ain't go. But I'm just saying is I still took on the responsibility. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why my whole mentality flipped. It flipped like this. They the reason why my mentality flipped. If not, I'd probably been doing some other crap. Who knows what I'd have been doing? But I know one thing. I probably may not have been as stable. They the one who taught me how to grow up. Because when you got to do this shit alone by yourself, man, you ain't got no choice but to grow up. You got to have a plan. You got to have a plan. You got to have some sort of morals. You got to have some sort of integrity, man. You can't let the kids grow up wild and crazy. Then they ain't got no home training. I can leave my kids at anybody's house, and they be like, damn, you can leave your kids in here. Because my kids ain't going to do nothing crazy, because they know I'm coming back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I always, even with my oldest son, man, I always had a thing about, like, if I call them and tell them I'm coming to get them, yo, I can't stand when people tell a baby that they going to call them and come get them, and then don't do it. Now you got the baby outside like a fucking puppy looking out the window. Oh, that ain't the car, that ain't the car, that ain't the car, that ain't the car. Yo, that's the most messed up thing to do. That for real is. You gonna say, well, I'm coming to pick you up. And the baby sitting there waiting, dressed, all excited because he want to be with his daddy or his mama. And then you pull some bullshit like that. Then you don't even call.
Right. I know.
That's some weak shit. Flat out. That's some weak shit. You can be as dirty in the game as you want to. You can fuck with as many broads or as many dudes as you want to. But your baby, you don't fuck over. Because at the end of the day, everybody else gonna call you a piece of shit but that baby. That baby don't care about nothing you done did. That baby don't care about nothing. That baby ain't looking at you as a loser. You looking at you as a loser. And the people who talking about you, who you want to validate you, are looking at you as a loser. But the baby don't look at you like that. That baby's like, let's just play. I don't really give a fuck what's going on in your life. Let's play. I want to eat. Change my diaper. So you gotta put all that shit away just to deal with some basic stuff. See how simple a baby is? We make everything complex. The babies don't make it complex. They just eat shit. They eat shit and sleep. They don't do nothing too difficult and play.
No, I know. Mm-hmm.
So that's why when I tell people that if your baby ain't shit, that's because of you. If your baby ain't doing what it's supposed to be, don't blame them. Blame you. Mm-hmm. Oh, well, I raised her right. No, the fuck you didn't. Go back and see where you fucked up at. Go back and see where you fucked. Go back when they tried to show you their little project and you brushed them off because you was talking to a chick or a dude on the phone. Go back to that time when they sit here trying to show you something and you want to criticize what they doing. Now they ain't got no more inspiration or no creativity. Go back to them times. Then you'll find out why your child is fucked up.
For real.
Nah, for real. It'd be one of them, just the one little instance that will fuck that child up. Man, my son done be coloring. He might color outside the lines. You got somebody else say, well, you have to color inside the... Why the fuck do you have to color inside the lines? It's abstract art. It's a picture that he wants to do. So who am I to tell him how to do his picture? You can't control everything. You can't. If he wants to color outside the lines, fuck it. Let him do it. How is that hurting you?
It doesn't.
But it do. A lot of people will sit there and flip out because the baby ain't coloring in between the lines. Mm-hmm. But the baby want to color all over the paper. So let him, as long as he ain't eating the crayon, who gives a fuck? You gotta let babies do their own thing sometimes. You can't just fucking constrict them. Why? Because it doesn't fit your paradigm. Fuck your paradigm. Fuck your paradigm.
Whoa. That was the conclusion of that episode of Ask Phiff, Badass Kids Part 2. Alright, come hit me on my website, AskPhiff.com. I got some fly ass merchandise, man. I'm gonna be looking for y'all. AskPhiff.com, and we out.